I knew first of all, thank you for all you guys for being here. I knew this point was coming all week. I was going to eventually have to stand here and say goodbye of sorts, I guess. And it was a good way to end this thing. To beat your number one rivals, to beat the Jets in your home stadium, in your last game after 15 years, I can't complain. I'm very happy. It may not look like it here in a few minutes. I'm going to try to hold this together, but I'm very, very happy and blessed to be where I am and to have made this journey of 15 years in this league. I obviously got a lot of thank yous to do, and I appreciate you guys being patient and listening. I got to start off with the number one, with my mother, Georgia, who's here tonight, or here today, whatever it is. Obviously, without her, I wouldn't be here. She is the rock of our family, quite a big family, as evidenced by the line on this wall. For a single mother to go through the things she went through and the sacrifices she made to put us in a position to succeed in life, I owe everything to her. She's the best. I love you, Mom. You've been my number one fan for a long time. Even when I was dead wrong, you defended me. And when I was right, you let everybody know I was right. So I appreciate you, and I love you. My brothers and sisters are here today. My sister Tiffany, my older sister. For years, believe it or not, for years my sister fought a lot of my battles, and kept me from getting beat up, kept me out of trouble. She was my guardian for a long time, and now it's my honor to be her guardian. Her and her great husband Sam has been a huge fan of mine for years, and we were just talking the other night, Sam and I, about some high school plays that he was laughing about, and I got blown up and fumbled the ball in high school. And talking about my first game as a Dolphin, I think it was in Mexico City, right, against the Broncos. I picked up a fumble, and unlike today, it was a real fumble. And I got blown up, and I forget who hit me, but I think a plane fell out of the sky and hit me, and I fumbled that ball too, and I fumbled today. But you guys have been great. Tiffany and Sam, I love you guys. My nieces and nephew are here. Mariah, Hope, Noelle, Sophia, little Sam. They got a lot of kids. But another example of a tough woman and tough guy that have raised 5 great kids, and I look up to you a lot. I know I don't always tell you, but I love you guys to death, and you guys have meant the world to me over the years. And I'm sorry I won't be playing anymore and giving you the joy and the sorrow that you have had to deal with on a weekly basis, but I thank you very much for it, and I love you. My sister Joy is here today, my younger sister Joy. What more can I say? She's like a sister and a daughter at the same time, and you know how that could be sometimes. But I love you, and I'm proud of you. I really am. My sister Grace just got back from Iraq and Afghanistan and has been in the military, the Air Force, for years. She just got back a few weeks ago, and it's because of people like her and the other troops that are serving around this world that we get to do what we do. And we don't get to talk to you as much when you're overseas. Thank God you're back home safely. But we love you, and the sacrifices you made for this country is second to none. And people look at us as heroes. We're just athletes that play a kid's game. You're our true hero for doing what you do, so thank you. And my little brother, he's not very little, but my little brother, there's actually a picture in the program, or this thing that they passed out today that Harvey put together, of me in my high school uniform holding him, and he was probably 2 or 3 years old. And well, you come a long way, and I'm really, really proud of you. And I encourage, he plays football at University of California, Pennsylvania, and I encourage you to keep doing what you're doing, keep working. Never worry about the path that was set before you. Be you, and be your best. No matter what it is in life you do, man, I'm going to love you and be proud of you. Why am I crying to my brother? Wow. That's weird. My number one, look, I hit the lottery in a lot of ways in life. I hit the lottery by being drafted by the Miami Dolphins. I hit the lottery with a lot of things, but none bigger than the woman who, for whatever reason, decided to marry me. I love you to death, Katina. You're my best friend, the father of our great kids, obviously, and you're my biggest support, my toughest critic, my best coach. You're my everything. I don't know why you chose me, but you did. I'm very lucky. I love you to death, and I look forward to getting to spend more time with you here, and you and the kids, and hopefully in the next 3 or 4 months you won't kick me out and tell me to go back to work. I'll have to call Jeff, and no, I'm not even going to start that. My kids are here. You saw my son Isaiah is over here, my son Mason, my daughter Zoe. They're my life. Her and my wife, they're my life. You know I love you guys to death. I told you about 100 times in the locker room there. It was our last time in that locker room together. Took them by the facility last night, and we had a good time at the facility last night, and they got to run around and act like they owned the place for one last time. I think they're still coming to grips that Daddy can't just show up there anymore, that Daddy's not a player there anymore, but I'm very, very blessed and happy that I had the chance to have kids young enough to be able to see me play. Hopefully one day down the road I won't have to try to convince them that I played and I was pretty good. They've seen a piece of it, albeit I'm a little older now, but they've seen the highlights and they saw a couple things. So I love you guys to death, and I look forward to starting to coach your flag football next week or a couple weeks from now, and I get to be on the other side of this thing now. So for the rest of my life, I'll get to live through you guys. There's someone that can't be here tonight or today that was like a father to me, a very, very, very special person in my life. And unfortunately, after 14 years of being with me, passed away last March, or this past March. Like I said, he's like a father to me, and I miss him every day. I miss him today. I'll miss him tomorrow even more, and that's, I hate to even call him my agent. He was like my dad, and one of my best friends, Gary Bouchard. Like I said, he passed away in March, but he's still watching. I know he is. And I talk to him every day. I talked to him before the game. I talked to him tonight. You know, where's Zach? I watched Zach's press conference last night to kind of get ready, to kind of see how he did it, because I always watch everything Zach does. I really do. You talk about a mentor and a brother and a friend. But I watched his press conference last night, and I called my wife shortly thereafter, and I said, man, he like said 10 words. I started crying, like, I'm never going to make it. But it was, I'll just stop now and thank Zach. I have to. Zach and my mother-in-law and father-in-law are here, and they're like a second mother and my father. And Zach, you've been my inspiration and my role model for a long time. I've missed playing with you the last 3 years or 2 years or whatever, however long it's been. You know, I look up to you, whether or not I tell you all the time, I really do. You know, Zach was one of the first people I called 3 weeks ago when the wheels started on this whole retirement thing. And it mattered a lot to me what Zach had to say. You know, it always does. You know, you always when you have an older brother or someone that you feel like is an older brother or whatever, you always want to please them. You always want to make them happy, make them proud. Zach and I were running mates for a long time in this league, and he made me so much better. And I owe a lot to him. I love him to death. Steve and Bobby, I love you guys. Zach, I've never had one like you. Obviously never have another one like you, but you've been the best forever. Never got your due, I don't think. I hogged the cameras, but you did all the work, and for that I thank you. And I love you, brother. The ownership, Wayne Huizenga was obviously the original owner when I first came in, and I have to thank Wayne Huizenga. He's been fantastic over the years. Stephen Ross, thank you for everything. Thank you for today, for the last week. I have to thank Steve Ireland and Stephen Ross and Jeff Ireland, the GM. Thank you guys for this. Not everybody gets to go out this way, and while I was a bit uncomfortable with all the fanfare and the focus this week, because it was about this team, I do appreciate it. I'm so flattered by it. Really undeserving of it, but I really do appreciate it, and I'll remember it forever. Mike D was a big part of it also. Harvey Green is in here somewhere. Harvey, I know I give you a hard time a lot of times, but you deserve it. It's been a fun run, Harvey. We worked together for a long time. He saw me come in as this young kid out of Akron that didn't know much about anything really, and really helped shield me sometimes, helped me to do the right thing. It wasn't always easy staying in front of you guys after some of these losses and some of these times throughout this franchise, but Harvey's always been there to encourage, to get on my nerves. Sometimes he would just drive you nuts to the point where you just did it until he leave you alone. But thank you, Harvey. Thank you for this last week, too. You've done a lot for the last week. Dory Grogan has been fantastic this week also. Jeff Griffith. Bill Galanti, my man. You've always been there for us, Bill. I appreciate everything, and I'll miss you. Scott Stone, and no, Rodney's not here anymore, but Rodney. All the staff has helped put this thing together this week. There's a guy that's in Pittsburgh still coaching ball that in 1990, I think it was 90 or 91, saw me doing some yard work in Pittsburgh. Walked over and asked me if I played football, where I lived, do I play football? And I said, no, I live in Turtle Creek, Churchill, Wilkins Township, whatever we would live, Wilkins Township. Sorry, it's a long time. His name is Coach George Novak. He's a head football coach at Woodland Hills High School. And he taught me into coming out and trying this little 7-on-7 thing they had in the summertime. And I went home and told my mom, hey, I met this guy, he's a coach at the high school. He wants me to come to this football practice and try out for football. And I think my mom probably just laughed at me. And one of those things, your kid wants to be an astronaut, he wants to be the president, he wants to be this, he wants to be that. Now he wants to play football. Yeah, right. Because I was a basketball guy. So anyway, I went to this practice, and lo and behold, I ended up playing football as a junior and senior in high school. And I'm here today because of George Novak. He started this journey off, and when I knew nothing about football, they'd throw a flag. I didn't know what the signal was. I'd watch my teammates see where they walked because I didn't know what the heck to do. I didn't know cover 2 from cover 3 to cover 1. I was a safety, and he told me to stay deep. That's kind of how I learned how to play. So I owe George Novak a lot, my high school football coach. He was the best and still is the best. I think Jerry Faust, an old blast from the past, he was my coach that recruited me to Akron and gave me a scholarship and a chance to play. And then the coaches that I've had in this league that have been fantastic. Jimmy Johnson drafted me as a kid out of Akron that didn't know anything. I just knew how to run and find the ball, and that's all he told me to do, just find the ball and go make some plays, and we'll work on the rest later. And so I thank Jimmy Johnson. He's been huge for me. I know he also drafted Zach. Dave Weinstein was great for me. I have to thank Dave. Whether you like it or not, I do thank Nick Saban. Nick was great for me. He's a very, very smart football coach, and regardless of how things ended here, Nick was been very instrumental in my career. Him and Don Capers were fantastic. I played 1 year for Rex Ryan and learned a lot from Rex and had a lot of fun with Rex. I'd be remiss if I didn't thank Rex and obviously Tony Sperano, who was a great guy and learned a lot from. We didn't win enough for any of these guys, but I owe them a lot. They always gave me a platform, gave me the freedom, gave me reign over some things to be a leader, and I appreciate that. You can't lead without your ultimate leaders allowing you to do that, and I always tried to do that. There's a lot of coordinators I played for, too, that I love to death. Jim Bates, Will Muschamp, Dan Quinn, defensive line coach, Travis Jones, another D-line coach, Clarence Brooks, way back in the day, Kerry Gadet, Glenn Pyers, who's now up in Atlanta coaching, Jim Reed, who's now the defensive coordinator at Virginia.
Well, the words of the very eloquent Jason Taylor, who is listing all the people to thank in his illustrious 15-year career and his journey through football, which may land him in the Pro Football Hall of Fame. Certainly on the Dolphin Ring of Honor, JT saying so long, and I know I speak for Dolphin fans everywhere when saying that we'll certainly miss his accomplishments on the field, but Jason Taylor will be a fixture of this community for many years to come. Back with some final thoughts on Jason Taylor and the Dolphins' win over the New York Jets to close it out this season on the 5th quarter as we continue after this.
The 5th quarter postgame show is sponsored by Bank United.